So, the exhibition idea isn't looking so good.
No, UNM varsity said no way, Lobo cheerleaders said no way, Lobo mascot said no way. And I must have left 5 messages for Meadowlark Lemon at the Harlem Globetrotters. Never called me back.
Didn't he die like 2 years ago?
Oh, well, that would explain the no callbacks. And I just got a letter from Cleveland Middle School. They looked at the footage I sent and said they're afraid that Paul Guerin and Curtis Vigil would inadvertently flatten one of their 8th graders.
That could happen.
So I've been rethinking this whole thing. On some level, what's going on in the mind of every legend when he's playing is that something that he's going to do on the court is going to wind up on the TV highlights that night.
Yeah, so?
So we give them their own TV network, you know, with a studio anchor and top 10 plays and game highlights and a play-by-play game of the week.
And now we're going to do that.
Well, you can get me the cameraman, right?
Sure.
All right, I can get the talent, I think. I used to work with a couple of dudes in sportscasting in my earlier days. They might just do it. Would take some convincing. One of them might require a road trip. But one I can get on the phone right now. Can you meet me in the office in 10 minutes?
Sure can.
Get your camera. We'll see you there.
You bet.
So tell me when you're rolling.
I'm rolling and rolling.
Oh, all right. And when do the new office phones come in?
I think those come in on Friday.
I hope we get those cool trimline phones. I like those a lot. So I need a real good studio anchor. I'm going to have to get a good play-by-play guy, but I got to get somebody who can call highlights and do studio updates, halftime show, that kind of thing. So I'm calling Lou Tilley, my buddy in Philadelphia. He's been a sports anchor for years, Philadelphia, Boston, Charlotte, also on cable. Now he owns Lou Tilley Media. And we used to work together in Charlotte a lot. We did a lot of stuff there. Worked together in college, too. I'm sure he's going to do this, you know, for old time's sake.
So let me get this straight. You want me to come to an auxiliary gym in Albuquerque to call game highlights of pickup games with a bunch of old guys?
They're not pickup games. There's a system to picking the teams. Oh, and we wear mesh jerseys.
Oh, well, mesh jerseys.
Oh, come on, Lou. The first game you and I did was from a card table behind a baseball backstop in the rain. Wake Forest at Clemson. It'll be kind of like that.
Yeah, I remember that, but I've kind of spent my whole life trying to get past that, too.
Could be fun, Lou.
I don't know. It could be a mistake, too, to be honest with you. I'm trying to build a big media empire here, and I'm in New York right now trying to close a big deal. Who would see this?
Well, just the guys and their families, you know, maybe some festivals, maybe the Academy Award judges.
Oh, good. Maybe I could meet Denzel.
Well, sure, Lou, you know, if we get there.
How much can you pay, Paul?
Oh, well, I was hoping you'd do it for gratis.
Gratis?
Yeah, you know, for old time's sake.
Let me ask you something. Do you still have the Paul McCartney autographed copy of Revolver?
Well, yeah, but it says to Paul on it. It was personally autographed to me.
Well, that's okay. I got a detail guy that can fix that.
So here I am, North Carolina, Charlotte. Drove all the way here with my cameraman Tim in my brand new car to see my old pal Steve Martin. Not the comedian, better though. He's the play-by-play voice of the Charlotte Hornets, did it for 30 years, just retired last year. So I'm here to talk him into coming to Albuquerque to call a noontime Legends game with me. We used to work together back in the 1980s, called college games before the NBA even came to Charlotte. I'm pretty sure he's going to do it, you know, for old time's sake.
So let me get this straight. You want me to come to an auxiliary gym in New Mexico to call a pickup game between a bunch of old guys?
Well, it's not exactly a pickup game. We're semi-organized. We wear mesh jerseys.
Oh, mesh jerseys. Well,
some of these guys are pretty good, Steve.
better than you, I hope. You know, I've seen you play.
Well, some are better than me, yeah.
Well, I really don't know. I mean, after all, I'm protecting a legacy here.
Come on, Steve. You're the best play-by-play guy I know.
How many play-by-play guys do you know?
Well, you're the only one, but that's not the point. It'll be fun, you know, just working together again.
All right, well, how much can I get paid?
I was hoping you'd do it for gratis, for old time's sake.
Gratis? This deal isn't getting any sweeter.
Well, it's kind of a basketball shoestring operation.
What are you driving these days? I think this is going to work just fine. I'll see you in Albuquerque.
Paul, how are we getting back to Albuquerque?
I'm not too sure. Okay, 8 seconds to air. Tell Lou to stand by.
Hey, can we get some quiet in the studio, please?
Ready, NTL slide.
Okay, Lou, here we go.
Stand by to cue Lou. In 3, 2, cue Lou.
Hi, I'm Lou Tilley, brought to you by some entertainment memorabilia. We're here today to anchor our Noontime Legends broadcast on NTL TV. And later, we'll be bringing you start-to-finish coverage of just one of these totally meaningless Noontime Legends matchups. It'll be black versus gold, right here on NTL TV. And as we prep for that, you'll be meeting just about all the legends up close and personal, as Howard Cosell used to say. Also on NTL, not just one, but 2 sets of top plays from the last few months, plus history and some memorable moments. All today on NTL TV. All right, here we go with our first batch of top plays. Number 10, Alex Paramo with some fancy ball handling here. The D collapses. Mark Harrell will sneak under the hoop, a perfect bounce pass. Alex to Mark for the lay-in. And the two exchange the pistol points. Number 9, Mark Harrell's chance to return the favor. Dribbles right, nearly loses his feet. This time, Alex Paramo is sneaking left to the open court, gives him the high side. Mark's skip pass is perfect, and Alex will drive to the rim high off the glass. Another pistol point from a grateful Alex. Number 8, we're looking at E.Z. Boglin, looking at first Orion Lindquist, low post right. The whole defense moves that way, leaving Flagg open on the left. Bernstein makes a play, but can't stop Anthony, who takes it up high, over Matt, and in. Number 7, here's Curtis Vigil for black, really bothering Red's Joe Lovato, who dumps it to Martinez. Now as Martinez moves right, Vigil makes a move for a steal from behind. You can see Curtis commit. The drop pass to Galloway, who sees Joe's left open. Curtis knows he's in trouble and is just a little too late to get back to Joe, who makes him pay from beyond the arc. And Joe does the self-satisfied backward jog down the floor. Number 6, Vigil's turn to shine. He's in red this time. Crossover left, and then crossover right, and pull up in the paint, ready for a tip-in, but it drops. Point red, game red. Vigil and company hold the winner's court again in the showdown with a good gold team. Number 5, Curtis Vigil again using the crossover move to get open and draw the D off Hoko Babaka, who launches from 10 and it drops. He gets a fist pump from Curtis for the assist, and a hop, skip, and finger lick down the court for Baca. Number 4, same game. Moments later, another great assist. Daniel Begay watches Artie Zavala move hoopward. Defense closes in, but Begay finds the tiniest crease to bang a pass through, and Artie's touch takes it home. Another bit of great team play earns a spot in top plays. Number 3, black versus blue. Joe Lovato with a perfect jumper form, just a little bit off. Ball scramble, though, winds up with Ben Begay. He skips the down-low throw to Rayo McCullough. Cross-court pass instead, picked off by Mark Emmons at full speed. Hops, spins, fakes a drop, spins again, finishes for blue. Number 2 starts with another wild scramble for the ball. It's black ball, then it's green ball. No, it's black ball. And Trayvon Briggs is out in front. Mark Harrell trailing, Rich Wood defending, Briggs dumps to Harrell, back to Briggs for the easy lay-in. Trayvon Briggs showing grace and smarts and a classic pro pose to top it all off. And our number 1 top play. Green's looking for 9. Emmons a little too strong on the bank, but Rich Wood is there to flip it in. Oh, no! But he pulls the board. Another chance goes down. Wood and the Green win. And the congrats passed all around. It's another NTL showdown that goes into the books. Well, not really. There's no book. It's just something we sports guys like to say.
Tim Gutierrez. I am 30 years old. Back
Take two.
Take two, yeah. I'm Tim Gutierrez, and I am 62 years old. I've worked at UNM since 1975. I've been playing with the Noontime Legends since the beginning, which is close to 40 years or so.
We've been out there longer than anybody, and Tim is like an Energizer bunny. I don't know how he doesn't ever tire out, but he doesn't tire out.
Tim bugged the hell out of me when I first started playing. I couldn't understand why he always yelled out, "He walked," when anybody made a decent shot.
Yeah, he's always trying to cause the trouble out there, right? He'll yell out the wrong score on purpose.
Tim's a good ball handler. Might not be fancy, but he knows where the ball is, when he's dribbling. And he knows when to get rid of it. He knows when to get it back.
I love to pass. I think I enjoy passing even more than shooting.
Ultimate floor general too, though, right? Like he knows how to play the game, and he knows how to get people open and do the little things that don't necessarily show up too.
Definitely try to take advantages of the mismatches and things of that nature. I'm very big on team ball, not so much the one-on-one ball.
Continues to dive for loose balls and hit the ground. Passes as well as anybody on the basketball court.
Kind of an offensive force with his jump shots from 10, 15 feet, with his looping, underhanded shots that always go in.
He's got that little under thing that has gotten me so many times, it pisses me off so much when he does it.
I'll tell you where it comes from. He pulls it out of his ass.
He has been playing on these same courts with these same backboards for getting close to 40 years now. So all of that is part of his essence, the floorboards, the backboards, the rims. So when I think about it in those terms, it's not so surprising how artful he is at being able to score with the basketball.
I'm Rich Wood. I'm 58 years old, and I've worked at UNM since 1996. I serve as a professor of sociology, and I've been playing with the Noontime Legends, I think, since 1996. I think my first year here. I grew up in Los Alamos. I was kind of a nerdy little kid until we moved to Boulder when I was in 4th grade, and I didn't have any friends, so my older brother taught me to play basketball. My mom made him as a way to help me adapt, and I've loved it ever since. Played high school basketball, not terribly well, sat on the bench a lot, but played some games and scored some points.
He's a very mobile guy. His game reflects Patrick Ewing. He's kind of got that jump shot. He's got that nice reverse layup. He's got that down pat. He's like most of us, injuries. It takes him a half hour just to get ready just to play, taping up everything.
Love playing against that dude, because that dude's class. Plays a good game. He's quick, too, his first step. I have to give him space because he's too quick. Now that I give him space, he shoots over me. So I'm like, damn you.
As I'm guarding him, I'm also in awe, watching him pull up on me and take a shot. And I'm just like, oh man, that looks so great. And I'm like, why am I not competing? Rich Wood is the nicest guy, but if you get him in between the court lines, he's there for serious. And I love that about him, actually. He's playing for reals, but he's still courteous. He's not out there to hurt you, but he's a tough cookie. I like him.
Yeah, he's a tough guy to stop. My sense of Rich is that he can pretty much score anytime he wants to because he can shoot from the outside. He's great in the post.
I actually don't care who scores the basketball. I want to move the ball around so lots of people get a touch on it. I want to get somebody open, maybe somebody who hasn't scored for a while, and get them a chance to shoot and make a hoop.
And a lot of times, he could take over the game if he wants to, but I think his joy is in involving everybody else.
It's really fun to make a jump shot from out there, but it's the relationships, it's the working together to try to produce not just good basketball, but also an experience where everybody feels like this is something worth doing.
My name is Paul Guerin, and I'm 56 years old. I've worked at UNM as a researcher since about May of 1992, where I am at the Institute for Social Research, and I teach part-time as well in sociology. I was never really taught how to play basketball, so I never played organized basketball till I was approximately 18 years old, till really I started at UNM. I generally don't have really good skills, so I can't shoot from the outside. I'm pretty awkward, I think, but what makes up for my abilities, I think, is my aggression. I'm pretty aggressive, and then that has tempered a little bit over the last 5 years, but probably not as much as it should.
He is a competitor. If you get him fired up, he can go. And at times it's funny, and then other times it's just like, oh man, like I don't want to be on the receiving end of that.
He expects a different level of game than I think a lot of people are willing to play out there, which I can appreciate. He wants the game to be running plays, doing sets, attacking mismatches, and I think he has a tendency to get frustrated if that stuff isn't happening.
If he wants to make a basket, even though I know it's coming, I can't stop it.
And once he gets the first shot, God forbid, I'm going to try to block him out, because if he gets the second one, he's going to make it. So someone's got to get that rebound after he shoots if he misses.
The guy is just freakishly strong.
He can rebound. He's one of the other guys who has a knack for the basketball. He knows where it's coming off. He knows how to use his body very well.
I try to get to the block before he does and hold that position so that at least he knows that if he's going to get that position back, he's going to be pushing you and backing you in.
He's got some weird, wild shots, that little underhand shot. He'll look and he'll do this. I'm like, dude, you've been hitting those shots forever.
Paul gets a little beastly, so to speak, sometimes, but after the game, he's always cool about it. Different strokes, different folks. If we were all boring and went out there and just played and there were no little scuffles here or there, arguments, it might get a little boring, so we got to keep it interesting. Thanks for that, Paul Guerin.
I'm Bruce Charon. I'm 67 years old. I've worked in the purchasing department since 1992, and I've been playing New Time Legends since the beginning. Well, I learned my stuff on my driveway. My dad, we had the first plastic backboard, clear backboard in the neighborhood because he was in a company that produced plastic, so he actually homemade a backboard and put it up there. So that was fun. 10th grade, I stopped playing organized basketball for 11th grade, and then 12th grade, I joined the church league. Organized ball. It was actually the best year of my life from basketball point of view because we got to travel and played in tournaments around the Midwest. When I was growing up, I always played with my back to the basket. I could never dribble that well, and even though we were a small team, I was usually one of the taller players, so that was my position. I played the 5 almost all the time, right?
Very strong, he'll post you down and he'll keep you there.
Better part of my game is defense and rebounding and screening. I try to make something available for somebody else. I have to shoot because I'm left alone sometimes, and it's decent. I can do a small jumpers fine.
He's very effective down there because he can take like one step and lean back and toss that shot up high. With a pretty high percentage, it'll go in.
And he does a great job of getting it, of muscling his way into the basket and getting the 2 points.
We match up because probably we're both at the same level of conditioning, maybe, which is to say we're all very conditioned.
Just a week ago, he had a game where he had 3 or 4 baskets, and I always make sure I tell him, look, this is why you come out, so keep coming out because there are days like this. And he laughs. He said, yeah, I'll try.
How you feeling?
Good.
Good.
I'm Joe Lovato. I'm 47 years old. I've worked at UNM since 2003. I'm in the physical plant and I work as a plumber. I've been with the New Time Legends since the inception. They started in the backyard of my grandpa's house, dirt. I grew up on the reservation in Santo Domingo, so we didn't have any concrete. Didn't start playing organized ball till maybe 7th grade. Went on through high school, played varsity basketball at Bernalillo. Went to New Mexico State, played some, open rec ball there. Came back and I started like a weekend warrior team. So we were actually a running team and we run guys out of the gym and won a couple of championships, I didn't start playing actually again till I got employed here.
There's 2 distinct sides of Joe Lovato. There's the devilish Joe and then there's the sweet and funny Joe.
He's a thinking man's basketball player. He knows the game. He's a coach. That helps.
As you know, I'm a high school coach and I coach girls basketball. Joe Lovato, to me, has such a good basketball brain. I try to listen to him, and he's just about always right.
He knows how to guard a point guard and knows how to guard me in the lane, but also how to pass the ball from everywhere else.
The passes that sometimes he makes, it's just like, what made you feel like that was a safe pass and it actually was a successful one?
He's that guy that you can count on, along with him and Bruce and Paul, that probably set the most solid screens for me. He's one of my favorite guys to play with in the gym.
I like being on his team because I always feel like all I gotta do is rebound and be in the right spot. He'll either get you the ball, he's got that weird one-footed kind of jump shot that often goes in.
Can't stop that guy's runner, man.
You know, he's out there literally just having fun. He's laughing, he's joking around.
I also think he's one of those upright, moral people that I would trust my life with. And I only know that about Joe because of what I see on a basketball court. Remarkable guy.
I'm Paul Ingalls. I'm 62 years old, and I worked at the University of New Mexico at the university radio station, KUNM. I've been with the Noontime Legends since the latest iteration started around 2003 or 2004. I mean, I was a 30% field goal shooter in high school, and I'm still pretty much a 30% field goal shooter now. There are days when I do much better, but they're kind of few and far between.
There's days when he's just on, and it's kind of almost like a godsend type of thing. It seems like he's a little possessed sometimes.
I love his little jump hook. It's really smooth. That's very hard to defend. It's such a quick release, and it's way up high.
He's quick. He's got that first step. If you're not watching for it, it'll get you. And it's gotten me.
He's another guy that's a technician. Expect him to make some shots that you're not gonna think that should be made at all.
I don't get the sense that he's looking for a shot. I get the sense that he's looking for who's cutting to the basket and I can make that great pass for a layup, an easy layup kind of thing.
Paul Ingalls is one of those guys like myself who really wants to have fun on a basketball court, but is also really competitive. And so you get this back and forth of those two pieces of Paul. But that's part of the game. That's part of what we're all working on.
What I always appreciate is his patience, but I definitely appreciate his intensity as well. I see him get mad at himself kind of the way that I get mad at myself because, you know, even though we're not Kobe Bryant, we're not LeBron James, there's always that competitive fire of always wanting to do better.
I think I really know the game well, and I know ways to contribute.
These guys that have the technique, they don't have to be the fastest, they don't have to be the strongest, they don't even have to have the best shot. It's something special about them.
My name is Jeremy Yang. I'm 58 years old. I am a data scientist with the Translational Informatics Division of the Health Sciences Center. I've been playing basketball with the Noontimers since 2008. My dad put a hoop in our driveway in Schenectady, New York, roughly when I was 9 or 10. I really have just played pickup basketball ever since. I had played for years in a game in Santa Fe where I previously worked at St. Michael's High School, which itself is a somewhat similar legendary noontime, mostly old guy game.
He's a good player overall. Another one who's quick. Oh my gosh.
I've always enjoyed running and jumping and moving fast.
He will just run you to death. So unless you're not getting a workout today, do not guard Jeremy.
He's wiry and he's sharp. You know, it's like almost any time you run into him, you're going to bruise or cut yourself, it seems like, because he's got no body fat on him.
I've never been a particularly good shooter. He tends to not look at the rim, and which is fine for me if I'm guarding him. But if he's on my team, I'm like, Jeremy, shoot the ball, you know.
He's fast, he's looking for the ball, he's giving up the ball, and he's going to the basket and he's making baskets.
But I was coached by a friend early on, make your layups.
If I am bringing the ball down, I can count on seeing Jeremy come from either the left or the right and filling up that lane and finish off a break with Jeremy making a layup.
I've been involved in pickup games, like I said, with other groups in other towns, and there is something that connects us all. the competition, camaraderie, cooperation, the sharing that we do.
My name is Mark Emmons. I'm 57 years old. I'm a librarian here at UNM, and I've been playing with the Noontime Legends since I first got here in 1990. So I came very late to basketball. I grew up overseas because my dad was a diplomat and I moved every couple of years. And so mostly I played soccer growing up, and then when I came to high school, I joined the track team and was a sprinter. I think I was about 26 years old, and I was at a company picnic for my mother-in-law. And there was a group of guys playing basketball, and I decided, what the heck, I get up there and join them and play. And I discovered I really liked the game. I was really bad at it, but I really enjoyed getting up there and challenging myself. And so I started playing basketball regularly after that.
He's probably improved in the game over the years just because he's out there and practicing and wanting to play and wanting to improve.
I think Mark and I probably have the most similar games of anybody on the court. Post players by default. We both work on getting up and on the floor, draw some hard defensive assignments, and work on the boards.
He has this shot that's just, it hammers in there. It's not a pretty shot. You know, slams into the front of the rim and often goes in.
He's got that weird shot where like he kind of sticks out his butt. He's going towards the goal. And I'm thinking I can block him. I always think I'm going to get it, and I never get it.
He's pretty sneaky. He just kind of hangs out in the outer parts, and then when he drives in, he gets past you, coming in and taking up those layups.
I think there are times when he'll lay back a little bit, and then there are times where he, sees the opening and then moves to it.
And when he drives, he drives. He doesn't look up. He just goes to the basket. But he's fun to play with. He's a real good guy.
Mark is one that if you lay off him too much, he'll make the game-winning shot on you.
I'm Lou Tilley in the Noontime Legends studios, and you're looking at a live shot of the Aux Gym at the University of New Mexico Johnson Center, where apparently there is nothing going on right now. Are we sure that we have a game there today, guys? Oh, okay. We'll be back with more when there is more. Meantime, here's a Noontime Legends memorable moment with our Paul Ingalls.
In the 2014-2015 school year, we had the pleasure of playing with a visiting professor from China, Dr. Wang. Wang could outrun most of us from the get-go, and he could play, but the language barrier never was quite overcome. We'd hear Wang say, okay, and sorry. Sorry mostly meant he fouled you. Paul Guerin would coach him sometimes, enunciating loudly in hopes that something would break through. On his last day with us in the spring of 2015, before he went back home to China, individual players dropped out of games, giving Wang their slots so he could keep playing the whole session. And Wang had a career best day with us, making shot after shot after shot before bidding us farewell.